Hi and welcome to ARCORE Germany to renew the different review. And after we had the 12 stars and also the private reserve from Metaxa, we have here today the 7 stars. And I hope you enjoyed this review. If you would like to have some more information to Metaxa, then have a look here to this video review. This was the review to the 12 stars, and this review I provide you with some information to Metaxa. So yes, if you're interested, have a look. You will find more information there, and we start with our today's review. So before we start with our tasting, in a few moments I would like to have a look to the bottle, how it looks like, and it's a classic Metaxa label and also bottle design, which you can see here. In my opinion, it's a very nice label and also bottle design of these bottles. I'm a big fan of them, and if you watched the reviews of the 12 stars or also from the private reserve, you know that the number of stars stands for the age. So in this case, the brandy is 7 years old, and it's of course mainly used for mixing with cocktails, this 7 stars. And so after the 5 stars, to which I will also make a review in the near future, it is the second cheapest bottling from Metaxa, the 7 stars. And yes, so we have the Metaxa, 7 years old in this case, the original bottling from the island Samos from Greece. They use for the maturation of their brandies the Limousin oak casks. And we have here the grape variety Muscat. 40% is the ABV. The brandy is available in different sizes. I also have today a small 5 centiliter sample from this brandy, but you also can get it in 1 liter bottles. And yes, they use some additives, unfortunately. Well, what means unfortunately, they use some Mediterranean herbs and also some rose petals. So they add these to the brandy and use it for the maturation. And it is also colored, so they use some caramel for a unique color for this brandy as well. And bottle price is around 16 euro for the 70 centiliter bottle. Always depends, sometimes a little bit cheaper, sometimes a little bit more expensive. You have a look, but if you want to buy yourself a bottle where you will find it cheapest. And yes, these were now all the pre-information, and now we start of course with our tasting. So, and you can see I have here the sample from this Metaxa today, and I just read a few moments ago that this is from 2019. I don't have it since 2019, but this sample is from 2019. And yes, so quite a long time ago when this sample was bottled. And of course we don't have to look to the color because the brandy is colored. And so if you saw the reviews from the 12 and also from 12 stars and from the private reserve, you know maybe then that I had a little bit of my problems with these brandies. They didn't convince me because they had for me somehow an artificial taste. And of course it will be interesting to see now if you can find this artificial taste here as well. I had the idea that because it is a younger brandy, maybe they don't mature the brandy so long together with the herbs and with the rose petals, maybe a shorter period. So yeah, it will be interesting to see now what kind of flavors we can find here. Yes, and also here I can find a little bit this artificial taste. Maybe not that intense like at the 12 stars or the private reserve, but it is definitely here. Some, yes, the rose petals are quite smellable here. Some thyme. Some peaches here, yes, peach, and a little bit of some quince. Yeah, but this artificial taste is a little bit in the background, maybe more, not that intense, but it is here and somehow it disturbs me a little bit. Okay, let's have a look to the palate. Yamas. So palate-wise, for me personal better, also the finish better than the nose. Palate is not that extremely artificial here. It is a very sweet palate with some caramel. You have here actually a very oily palate with some dried papaya as well, a little bit of some dried pineapples, and a decent pear note as well. So palate-wise, quite fruity, sweet, with this oily texture, very smooth as well, and not that artificial as the nose for me. And in the finish, quite same, to be honest. It reminded me here a little bit more on a liquor from the finish, and with here again very nice peach flavors. Some rose petals were here, but not that disturbing for me like on the nose. Some dried apples and a little bit of some fennel. So yes, finish wise also good, not bad, better than the nose for me. And yeah, so to come back here to my first thoughts to this brandy before we tasted it. It is an okay brandy for me, nothing spectacular of course, but for 16 euro, yes, I think price value is okay. And yes, maybe it has this little less herbal influence than the 12 stars or maybe the private reserve. So I don't know how long they use the herbs and rose petals in the cask. Just a feeling that I think maybe it's a shorter period here at the 7 stars, and then it will be of course also interesting to see the 5 stars in comparison here. If we have here less this influence from the herbs and from the rose petals, we will find out when we try here also the 5 stars. And when we come to the points here at the end, for the nose 20 points, 21.5 points for the palate, and 21 points for the finish. For the overall impression it would be 20.5 points, which means in total 83 points for this brandy. And yes, result wise you can see nothing spectacular, but if you like to pour it in a cocktail, of course you can do that. I think you don't need to pay more for the 12 stars or even for the private reserve. If you want to pour it in a cocktail, then you can definitely take the 7 stars or maybe even the 5 stars. We will find that out in the upcoming review here. And yes, let me know of course what your experience is with Metaxa. So did you also have here this artificial taste, or what kind of flavors did you have? Did it not disturb you with this artificial taste or with the herbs? Let me know your impressions in the comments here. Would be very interested of course. And so we are here at the end of our review today. If you don't have a subscription of my channel, feel free, subscribe, no costs for you. Leave a thumb up. If you like this review here today, would be also very happy. I say thank you very much for watching it, and I wish you a wonderful and great time, and see you next time.